Lab leak theory shouldn't be ruled out, former Chinese CDC head. Unnecessarily aggressive, Chinese fighter jet caught on video buzzing US spy plane. Canadian intelligence, Chinese regime targets Canadian member of parliament. China's largest debt collection company suspended business, 179 employees subjected to criminal coercion.
A former top Chinese government scientist has stated that research shouldn't dismiss the possibility that COVID-19 may have escaped from a laboratory. In an interview for the BBC Radio 4 podcast on May 30th, Chinese virologist and immunologist George Gao said, "You can always suspect anything. That's science. Don't rule out anything." He also said, "We really don't know where the virus came from. The question is still open." Gao was the director of the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, between August 2017 and July 2022. He now serves as the vice president of the National Natural Science Foundation of China after retiring last year. The Chinese government has vehemently denied the lab leak theory amid international pressure. Publicly, it dismisses the hypothesis as a product of anti-China forces. However, Gao's interview with the BBC suggests that Beijing may have taken the theory more seriously than its official statements. The Chinese scientist disclosed that China had performed some kind of official inquiry into the Wuhan Institute of Virology, or WIV. He said, "The government organized something," but he also added that the China CDC was not part of the affair. Gao said the WIV was double-checked and that no problem was found. Admitting that he has not personally viewed the probe results, he said, "I think their conclusion is that they are following all the protocols. They haven't found any wrongdoing." It was still rare for a top Chinese official to say things that did not fully match that of the government. However, the BBC noted that Beijing has been trying to promote a third theory recently about the origin of coronavirus. Reportedly, it is now pushing the narrative that the novel virus might have been imported into the country on frozen food packaging. The BBC suggested that Gao's language might be a more scientific version of China's denials of the lab and the market. Both are based on the idea of a lack of evidence. According to the US military, a Chinese fighter jet conducted an unnecessarily aggressive maneuver by darting in front of an American spy plane over the South China Sea last week. It is the most recent incident of what Pentagon officials fear may trigger a significant escalation. U.S. Indo-Pacific Command Public Affairs, or US Indo-PACOM, said in a statement on May 30th that an RC-135 aircraft was carrying out safe and routine operations in international airspace over the South China Sea on May 26th, when a Chinese J-16 jet intercepted the American plane and cut in front of its nose, forcing the U.S. plane to fly directly through the turbulence caused by the Chinese jet's wake. A video, captured from the U.S. Air Force plane's cockpit, shows the Chinese fighter jet streak across the sky just ahead of the aircraft before it encounters the wake turbulence. Then, the cockpit suddenly shakes around, and the Chinese jet takes a sharp turn away from the American aircraft, disappearing toward the horizon. US Indo-PACOM said in a statement, "The United States will continue to fly, sail, and operate, safely and responsibly, wherever international law allows, and the U.S. Indo-Pacific Joint Force will continue to fly in international airspace with due regard for the safety of all vessels and aircraft under international law." The statement added, "We expect all countries in the Indo-Pacific region to use international airspace safely and in accordance with international law." As reported by Business Insider, Pentagon officials have warned that China's increasingly aggressive behavior around the South China Sea, where Beijing has made disputed territorial claims and militarized artificial islands, could eventually lead to a major incident or accident in the region. Over the past year, Chinese aircraft have engaged in several unsafe maneuvers around US and allied aircraft. According to Politico, Chinese jets also buzzed American military aircraft over the South China Sea in February and December, prompting complaints from Washington. Canadian Member of Parliament Jenny Kwan said Canada's intelligence agency told her that the Chinese Communist regime has been targeting her for years. During a speech in Ottawa on May 29th, Kwan revealed that the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, or CSIS, contacted her several weeks ago to provide her with a briefing on foreign interference threats from the Beijing regime. She said, "CSIS has confirmed with me that I am being targeted for foreign interference and will continue to be a target." According to Quan, the Canadian spy agency confirms the interference from the Chinese regime. Interference attempts can be traced back to the 2019 federal election, and it is still ongoing. Quan said that intelligence authorities should inform her and other targets, such as Conservative Member of Parliament Michael Chaum and everyday Canadians, immediately, as soon as they know about the interference. She believes the Chinese regime has targeted her because she supports the people of Hong Kong, where she was born. But the interference does not discourage her from advocating for Hong Kong people, saying, "I will stand firm with the people who are fighting for basic human rights. Stand firm with the people of Hong Kong. I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced in any way. Whoever is trying to put pressure on me, in whatever way they are trying to do it, they will not succeed." Quan's revelation comes shortly after a government-tapped special rapporteur decided there would be no public inquiry into allegations that China attempted to meddle in Canadian elections, but instead hold public hearings. It also follows a Canadian media Global News report stating that Beijing had targeted former Conservative leader Erin O'Toole while leading the party in the 2021 federal election.
On May 25th, Hunan Yangxiang Asset Management Group, or Yangxiang Group, China's largest debt collection company, officially announced its closure. 179 employees of the company were subjected to criminal coercion by Anhui police, and 3 were arrested for the crime of picking quarrels and provoking trouble. Yangxiang Group issued a notice to all employees on its official Weibo, revealing the group's problems and emphasizing that it has always operated legally and compliantly and had no corporate illegal and criminal activities. The group also said it would discuss remedial work and deal with the worst possible scenario. However, the notice was deleted around 10 a.m. on May 25th. According to China's Xiaobao report, Chinese debt collection companies have always been at the forefront of public opinion, including Yangxiang Group. As of May 22nd, the group had received 153 complaints on the complaint platform Heimao, alleging threatening SMS, constant phone calls, harassing people, and etc. Yangxiang Group did not disclose the reason why it was investigated. However, according to JRJ.com, the company's number of employees has decreased significantly in recent years, from 17,000 employees before the COVID-19 outbreak to 7,000 employees after the pandemic and to 2,000 recently. A netizen said, "I worked there for a day. They pretend to be various government officials to find information on debtors, pretended to be from the National Immigration Administration, and even threatened debtors to call the police. I was shocked and fled in the afternoon." On this issue, some Weibo netizens commented, "That is the price for everything it has done. Being cancelled as it should." It's ridiculous how all Chinese debt collection companies define themselves as asset management groups. Debt collection companies have killed many people. I heard many debtors have received countless threatening messages, a signal for the rectification of the debt collection industry. There are currently more than 3,000 debt collection agencies in China. They're one of the reasons behind increasing bad loans of banks. These unethical debt collection companies are no different from gangsters. They should have been eliminated long ago.